March is a big month for the Pixel 8 series phones. Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro, other ones of course as well, but the quarterly feature drop is coming this month. So if you are familiar with the Pixel phones, you know that every quarter we get a feature drop and it gives us new features, new updates, and this is for like the Pixel Watch, the Pixel tablet, the Pixel phones, and it's exciting because, well, one, not a lot of companies do stuff like that. You get the monthly security patch, all that stuff, you get the new operating system when it comes out, but that's one nice thing about the Google Pixel phones. Every quarter we get an update, and I don't know what that's going to be. I've seen some things from like the beta where they're talking about maybe a better Bluetooth menu. We might have a better screen recording feature where you can just record like an individual app and not just record your whole phone whenever you turn on screen record. Maybe we might get some more battery life enhancements. And most excitingly, we might finally get faster updates, which I know whenever it comes to the Pixel phones, every month, whenever we have a Pixel update, everybody's like, oh my gosh, why does this take an hour and a half? Why does this take 2 hours? It's a 24 megabyte update, right? I have the same frustrations that you do. So that might be coming as well, and maybe we'll finally get zoom enhanced. Like, there's a lot of different things that might be coming. I don't know what the confirmed list is, but we could see it as early as this next week. So traditionally, the updates come on the first Monday of the month. So today is March the 1st. The first Monday is just a couple of days away. Usually, when we get the quarterly feature drop, it's a little bit later. Like, it's not usually on the first Monday, but hey, I'll cross my fingers and we'll hope and we'll see what happens, and I'll be sitting there waiting. But it's quite possible that it could come out Monday. It might be a week or two. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But Google did a couple of months ago say that they're not adhering to that first Monday of the month schedule anymore. Like, they've still been hitting the mark. Like, they've been pretty good about putting the updates out on the first Monday of the month, but it gives them a little bit more latitude and leeway. So it's like, all right, if it's not there exactly that day, everybody's not like crying and wailing and gnashing of teeth and things like that. But the Pixel 8 has been a solid phone. The Pixel 8 Pro has been a really good phone, and I'm excited to see what more stuff that we get. It'll be also curious to see what kind of AI updates that we get, because a lot of the AI stuff and a lot of the improvements we've seen over the last couple of months have been most exclusively to the Pixel 8 Pro and not so much the Pixel 8, and it certainly hasn't trickled down to a lot of the other phones. So it'll be interesting to see what comes to the Pixel 8 Pro, what goes to the Pixel 8, what goes to the Pixel 7, the Pixel Fold, and that's been a frustration of mine. When you take a look at the Pixel Fold, $1,800 phone, it just doesn't seem like it's gotten nearly the level of support and as many updates as you would think. And a lot of that has to do with the Tensor 2, because most of the stuff is coming out for the Tensor 3. And that was a frustration of mine before the phone even came out. I said it needed to have the Tensor 3. They sold us an $1,800 phone with the year-old Tensor 2. But there is hope on the horizon for the Pixel Fold 2, because rumors are pointing to we might possibly see it launch with the Tensor 4. And if we get the Tensor 4, I think that'll be great. And I think we can all say that there's been improvement from the Tensor 1 to the Tensor 2 to the Tensor 3. And I think the Tensor 3 that we have in the Pixel 8 series phones is finally the first one that's very mainstream ready. And I think the Pixel 8 Pro has been a great phone so far, and I think that it's probably had the best launch out of the last couple of phones. The iPhone 15 Pro came out. It had issues, things people were complaining about. Had heat issues, charging issues, easier to break, all sorts of that stuff. And had some operating system issues. And then the S24, we're very familiar with it. We've already had like 3 different screen gates, and the phone has been out for a month. We've got the screen graininess issue. We've got the green line issue. We've got the vividness issue. And then we have the good old Pixel 8 Pro, which has been quietly not really having any issues. It's been really solid since it's first come out. Even though it came out, we got Android 14, all those new updates, new Tensor chip, all that stuff. So I like the Pixel phones. If you follow my channel for any matter of time, you know that I'm a big fan of the Pixel phones. I like a lot of the stuff that Google does. I like what they're doing with AI. I think it's still the smartest smartphone that's out there, and I'll probably be saying that until the next phone comes out, because when you take a look at the smart features and the AI that we have in the S24 series phones, most of it's just stuff that they took from Google, and they either gave it a different name or it even has the same name. Case in point, Circle to Search. And I know I've talked about this a few times, but it was just still comical to me where you've got the keynote for the S24 series. They're doing the press release and like, all right, here's our big event, Circle to Search. It's so big. And then, like, during the event, Google's tweeting, by the way, Circle to Search is a Google feature. It will be here on the Pixel phones on the same day. So you look at that. You look at Live Translate. You look at the Interpreter app. You look at a lot of the different things that they're doing, and Google's been doing it already. So I think that you still have a smarter smartphone experience. I'm curious to see what kind of other AI developments and updates that we get, because the smarter this phone gets, the more justification that it gets, and the more that it can get out there in front of other phones. I've said for the longest time that the Pixel needs its own experience. It needs its own exclusive stuff. That's why it was frustrating to me was a year or two ago, we've got Magic Eraser, and then if you got the Google One subscription and you got it on Samsung, you could use Magic Eraser on your Samsung. Like, well, if you can get those experiences on other phones, why do you need a Pixel phone? Like, Samsung has one UI. The S24 Ultra has the S Pen. The iPhone, of course, is its own individual experience. But Google, they've gone a long way the last couple of years with the Tensor, with Material U, with some of these features that are coming out to it that make it a lot more of a Google experience and not just a stock Android experience. I mean, there's a lot of phones you can pick up that have a very stock Android experience. You look at the Sony Xperia phones, they've got a very stock experience. You look at the Zenfone, like the Asus phones, they got a pretty stock experience. You look at the Motorola phones, they've got a fairly stock experience, not a whole lot of crazy stuff going on. So you need to have something that draws people in, that makes it unique. And AI is a way that they've been able to do that. And by coming out with these new things, new updates, we've of course got Gemini. Maybe we'll get some more Gemini developments. They, of course, wiped out Bard. Bard's gone. Now we've got Gemini. And I think largely it's been a pretty good experience, but how much is that going to capitalize and take advantage of the Tensor hardware? Are we going to get some generational AI capabilities or generative, not generational, generative AI capabilities where you can type some prompts in and have it give you an image, or maybe we can get some video clips at some point in time. There's needs to be more development in the AI stuff to justify all this big push for AI. And I think that the Pixel phones are the best suited to do that because, one, Google makes Android. Google makes a Pixel phone. It would make sense. And that's how I think they lead the way here. Of course, it's still got great camera capabilities. And I think it has pretty good battery life. A lot of people complain about the battery life, but I still get about 7.5 hours of screen on time. I think that's pretty good. If you can use your phone for 7 hours, like physically use your phone for 7 hours, not a lot of people do that in a day. Really, not a lot of people use their phone for 3 hours or 4 hours, especially not people who are like adults. I know a lot of kids and teenagers and stuff like that will spend all day on their phone, but I get the comments every time I make a video and talk about battery life. Who uses their phone 7 hours a day? Who uses their phone 6 hours a day? There are a lot of people that do. I make a living using phones all day long. So yeah, I need a phone that lasts all day long. I think the Pixel 8 Pro lasts all day long. I think it lasts well enough for me. And yes, the S24 Ultra is a little bit better. It's not quite as good as the S23 Ultra. And then you got the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's got pretty good battery life, a little bit more, not that much. So I think in a lot of ways the Pixel 8 Pro has been very, very competitive. And I think at the lower price point, the Pixel 8 is competitive, especially when you take a look at the landscape and you look at the deals that they've had. I mean, shoot, we've been able to get the Pixel 8 Pro for $799 for so long. Or you could get a couple $100 off the Pixel 8 as well. So that's been a way they've been able to help stand apart. But I'm interested to see what we get with the quarterly feature drop this month. Maybe Zoom Enhanced finally shows up. I mean, they've been dangling that carrot for a long time. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I will be covering it as soon as we know what's going to be there. And as soon as the quarterly feature drop comes out, I'll have a video talking about that. But I just wanted to kind of set the stage for this month because it's quarterly feature month. The last one was December. So you got December, March, June, and September are the 4 months. And yeah, we'll see what happens. This last one was pretty good. It's actually been kind of interesting because we've had a lot of updates that have come outside of that quarterly feature drop. And like most recently, we got the thermometer update to where you can actually like take a human temperature now with your phone. So I'm glad to see that Google's been very committed to these updates, that they've been coming up with stuff that's not just a monthly or quarterly drop and trying to make the product better. And that's what you want to see, especially from a $1,000 flagship phone, especially whenever, well, you're supposed to have 7 years of updates. Like, how meaningful is that if they never update it? But we've been off to a good start. It'll be an interesting month, and hopefully those of you who are out there who are my Google Pixel fans will be interested in the videos once they come out. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. I'm back here in the Tech Odyssey studio. I'm home from Mobile World Congress and my trip and all that stuff. I might have a recap video on that soon, talking about some of the cool things that I saw there. But I've got a lot of products that I've got to get videos coming out on this next week. I have the OnePlus Watch 2, which I forgot my charger, so it died on me while I was gone. I was planning on having that video this last week whenever it launched. That came out a few days ago. And then I've got my full review on the Vivo 30 Pro. That one's exciting too. And then I've got another exciting phone that just showed up in my mail the other day. I have the new OnePlus 12R, the purple one, the Genshin model. So that'll be exciting too. So a lot of stuff coming out over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you'll enjoy those videos as well. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like, the subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.